We are here with Saddleborn Podcast. I am Sadie Schick.
Chantel Carter. Is that thing on?
I think it's on.
Michelle Filippini.
And today we're interviewing Efren Benavides, and he is here to talk about his event that he puts on here in Elko called Gold Rush Challenge. And he has his bucking bulls, and he team ropes, and he does a little bit of everything.
And
so
we want to hear all about it.
all about it.
And tomorrow I'm a barrel racer.
Tomorrow he's a barrel
Oh,
racer.
can chaser.
My kid's a barrel racer.
Yeah, we're gonna
We
get him
love it.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you don't throw that out there, because we will challenge you.
Yes, we're gonna make you do it.
I will run barrels.
Okay, do
promise.
it. It's just a racehorse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
It's on.
That's it. Efren will be barrel racing tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
I'm gonna be like I tell my son. I was like, don't break the pattern.
Yeah,
and
In
I'm
the
gonna go break
open.
the
Screw this
In the
up.
open.
Yeah.
I'll make sure Sadie really talks about it.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Just don't
Yeah.
be mad if I win like in the 2D.
You
I know.
probably
He's
will.
gonna take the whole show.
Yeah. I'm running Chris's rope horse, so
Yeah, that's my horse too. I'm like,
perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
Let's trade.
Let's
just make it.
Yeah, just swapsies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's make it
just
interesting.
Don't, yeah, don't put me on your barrel horse.
No. Crazy, aren't they?
Some of them.
Yeah. So I guess to kind of start us off, let's talk about little Efren. Like, what got you started in like rodeo, bull riding, everything?
Well, shoot, I don't know. So my family doesn't really come from like rodeo. You know, my parents are I'm first generation American. My parents were born in Mexico, obviously. Cool. You know, but like growing up, my parents we always had horses. My dad loved horses and stuff, but I knew little to nothing about rodeo. I just always was like, fuck, you know, my dad like worked at the Spanish Ranch when he first came here.
He did?
Yeah, he was like
Wow.
old. Yeah, he worked knew more like the old school Morais. He knew everybody from.
Is
and
your
Spanish
dad still a ranch hand?
No, he worked there. So my older siblings, there's 7 of us. My older siblings like grew up on the Spanish Ranch, and then like me, he had already moved to town, and we grew up in town.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really grow up in town, but like I grew up like in Elko.
Yeah.
So
How
we
neat.
just had horses all the time, and then we'd go like my dad had a good buddy that we'd go help brand calves and stuff, and I just was like, this is awesome. I love this. This is cool. I can do this all the time.
Yeah.
So then it was just like that, and then one of my brother above me, my dad always liked like in Mexico they do like Mexican rodeo too.
Yeah.
So he like really liked Mexican rodeo, so like that's all we knew. So I was like, yeah, Dad, I'll do it. Shoot, like that's what you like. Well, heck yeah, we'll go. And I like rodeo, so I was like, yeah, we'll go. So we did a lot of Mexican rodeos, and then after that, it was like, okay, like Mexican rodeo, just a little bit different. And I was like, no, I don't really like this that much. And then I just started and then I got into high school, and I was like, there's a rodeo team, but I like knew nothing about anything. And then I was like, there's a rodeo team. I was like, surely there's something I could do. And I always was like, yeah. So I started riding bulls, and I was like, yeah, shoot, I'll ride bulls. And I rode bulls, yeah, and I just...
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
For how long?
Well, I started like right before high school, and then I went into high school, and then my freshman year, like, not to sound like whatever, but I was like the brown kid that just like came in and rodeo, and then I was like, but I was
sticky.
like, yeah, but I was like, I don't care, I like it. My parents was like, if you like it, we'll take you. So they took me like to all the rodeos.
What good
I was,
parents.
Like, my freshman year, like, you like it? Go, let's go. And I knew absolutely nothing. I was like, yeah, I'll figure it out. One of my dad's buddies gave me a vest, and I bought a bull rope like from J.M. Capriola's.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I absolutely knew nothing. I was like, fuck it, I don't care.
So you didn't have a mentor. You
No,
pretty
I
much
just
like
was like,
winged it on your own.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Yeah.
I just was like, screw it. I was like, I'll do it, and what's the worst? I fall off and I just get back on, I guess.
Yeah. At least you tried. Yeah.
So I went, and like I went my freshman year, and I went to like every single rodeo. Like, and you guys know here, like in Nevada, it's so big. You know, both like
It's
from like here
giant.
to Pahrump and the Vegas and this
Yes.
and this. And my parents were like, no, let's go. So we'd go there this weekend, and we'd come back, and we'd go again, and we'd come back, and we'd come back.
Yeah.
And I went, and I never like rode one bull like the whole time. I just go, get on,
Yeah.
get bucked off. Go,
Yeah.
get on,
Wow.
get
So
bucked
you
off,
didn't
get
even
bucked off.
practice in between. That was your practice.
I practiced like, then I kind of got hooked up a little bit with like the high school guys. Mm-hmm. So I'd practice a little bit, but I never really knew anybody. I just was like, well, I'm just going to do it myself. And this was like before like YouTube and all this other, or I knew anything
Figure it
about
out
it.
on your own.
And I'm sure like schools have been around forever, but I never knew nothing about it. So I was just like, well, I'll just go and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So you're showing at your age a little bit. Seemed like before
Yeah.
YouTube and stuff. YouTube.
Yeah. So there was like, so like,
YouTube was like music videos.
YouTube
Yeah.
was-
Like we used to go to high school rodeos and have
After
to print like Google Maps directions. And it's like at
Oh
you
yeah.
know, SR
Yeah.
395, take a left. And I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
reading directions, going, and I'm like, where the hell's Pahrump at?
Yeah.
So we're like, yeah. So I just kind of did it myself, and then I was like, screw it, I'm gonna keep going. And then my dad was like, you should, he's like, you sure you want to keep going? I'm like, yeah, I want to keep doing it, dude. So then like I was just kind of a nobody, and then I kind of made friends like along the way, but.
It's such a good community too.
Yeah,
it's like everybody wants to. Like if you
Everybody
keep
wants to
trying,
help.
they see your
Yeah.
try, they want you
Win,
to do
win,
good
win.
and succeed.
So then I was like, screw it, I'm gonna keep going. And then my sophomore year, I went in again, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep doing it. And I just kept doing it. And then that year, I was like completely 180.
Like covering stuff.
Yeah, I
and-
rode every single bull.
Yeah.
And then like how you have like the spring rodeos and then the fall rodeos. So like the last of the fall rodeos, I broke my arm. And then I had surgery, it came back, and I was like, I'm going to keep doing it. And then I kept, and then I whooped all our asses. And then I won state in 2007.
Yeah.
Here,
Wow.
bull riding, from like nothing to like, not to whatever, but like, and I won state in 2007.
Yeah.
Against like these juniors and seniors, and I was just like a nobody. And
that is so cool.
hell's
Like
this kid?
I mean, I know you now as we're adults, but I didn't know that
Yeah.
about you. That's really cool.
Yeah, I just was like, I don't know. I just and then I kind of, as it, the years progressed, I went to nationals and all that shit, and that to me, I was like, that's badass. Like
That is so cool.
I was like, and my dad was like, damn, like last year, and I got even rope in the saddle that they gave me. I was like, I'm gonna whip all these people's asses.
How old were you when you rode your first bull?
Oh shoot, I don't even I'd always dink around like in the branding pen,
Yeah,
ride
riding
calves
calf,
and
yeah.
stuff. But then I started like steers when I was younger, like 11, 12.
Yeah.
And then I just was like, I think this is what bull riding is. I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And then I
that.
started going to the rodeos, and I'm like, God damn, these are bulls.
Yeah.
And then my dad was like, you want to get on? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get on.
I got
What
it.
the hell? I drove all the way over here. I'm going to get on. Yeah. Yeah, so then I just, high school rodeo, I went to nationals, I met a bunch of buddies, and then like my sophomore and junior year, I met a couple friends, along the way that, like my nephew started rodeoing, and then I had a buddy in Vegas. I got a buddy in Vegas. He started rodeoing, and not to sound like whatever, but it made me feel more like they were Mexican like I was, so it was kind of like, okay, these are cool. Like I don't feel like the loner guy.
Yeah. You don't
But
feel.
then, everybody was really super nice, but it was like really nice to like have somebody you knew, like really, really.
Yeah. Right.
So it was a lot. It was fun. Like we high school rodeoed, and I went to Illinois for nationals. We went to Farmington. Was it Farmington?
Farmington, New Mexico.
Yeah. Went to Farmington, and then went. Then from there, I just went and called. And then along the way, high school rodeo, I was kind of like, shit, I'm driving all the way down here just to ride bulls. I was like, I gotta do something else. Drive 400 miles to go ride a bull and then fall off. I was like, shit.
8 seconds.
So the easiest, like
Didn't last.
the only thing that would make sense to me, because I didn't know anybody, I was like, fuck, I'll ride a bronc. So I started riding broncs, and I rode broncs through high school.
Oh, you did it all.
Yeah, and then when I went to school, I went to college, the rodeo. I went to ride bulls and to
did you
ride
go?
broncs to Douglas, Arizona.
Cool.
Yeah, so I went to Douglas, Arizona, and college rodeoed, and then I went to ride broncs and ride bulls, and I've always known my way like around a rope or whatever. So I was like, and then like the way our practices lined up, it was like Mondays and Wednesdays we rode bulls, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays we'd rope or whatever. And I was like, shit, these days of practice, I'm not doing nothing. Like I'm gonna rope. Like I got a horse at the house.
Yeah.
So I called my dad. I was like, hey, can you bring that horse down? And I didn't know nothing about team roping, so I was like, bring the horse down. And then just along the way, these guys were like, hey, this is how you do it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. So I just started team roping, and I was like, this is not easy. I was like, this is kind of easy. I can do
Before
this.
you knew it, you were a team roper.
Yeah, so then I was
Bull
like, shit.
rider
So
and
then,
team roper.
and then like the way the college rodeos work, like you get on the points team, and I was like, well, if I'm working bulls, broncs, and team roping, there's more chance of me getting on the points team.
That's
and then I was like, so then it was back to the same thing. We were practicing, and then they were shoot dog, and I was like, dude, I could do that so easy.
I already
I was
get
like,
thrown off.
not saying it's easy, but I was like, I get bucked off.
Yeah.
I can surely wrestle.
Yeah.
steers.
Intentionally come off.
So then I was like, screw it, I'm doing this. So then we started shoot dogging. The guys like, you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Oh yeah, give it to me. And obviously my technique wasn't like the best because I wasn't a steer wrestler, but I was like, yeah, I'll steer wrestle. So then I started steer wrestling too, and I was like, screw it. I made short rounds, and then yeah, I wish I would have like, I wish I would have.
Sadie. Oh, I think I could do that.
Yeah.
Sadie is I think I can do that too all the time.
Yeah. But so the only missing piece is barrel racing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But that's tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's tomorrow.
Or that might have been like
Add it to your resume.
after practice, like you're kind of a little tipsy. Yeah, barrels. I'll do this. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, shoot, not to say I was like good at whatever, but I was like, shoot, I'll try everything. I was like, I'm not scared to train. So
Yeah.
I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
That's a great
So
mentality.
yeah, it was really good. And I was like, even my coach was like, dude, like, you're kind of picking it up. And I was like, and there was guys that were like on scholarships that were supposed to be there to Bulldog, and they were like, and I was making short runs and they weren't. And I'm just like, oops, sorry.
Yeah.
And then finally, like, one of the guys got mad at me. He's like, well, you can't use my Bulldog and horse no more. And I'm like, that's all right. I'll just use my team roping horse. So I just jumped off my team roping horse, and then just was like, whatever. Yeah, no, so then I just went college rodeoed, and then after college, I went and pro rodeoed a little bit, just riding bulls, because I wasn't as, like, really good at broncs. I could ride them, but I wasn't, like, really, really good. But I went and pro rodeoed a bunch, and then I had gotten hurt. I had broke my arm, and then I had gotten hurt really bad one time in college. I was, like, in the ICU at, like, in Tucson.
Oh, okay.
So I was, like, really bad. I had, like, punctured lungs. I had broken ribs, and then I was really bad.
Yeah.
And then that year I made the college finals, and then I had to come back because it was like right at the end of the season. And then my coach called and was like, "Hey, like, are you gonna be able to go to the finals? Like, you made the finals. What do you want to do?" And I was like, I got hurt like in May, and the finals were like in June. And he's like, "Can you go? Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to go."
Yeah.
I was like, and then I was literally at the hospital, like, when my mom took me to the hospital, and she's like, and they were doing like the breathing treatments, checking my lungs.
Oh,
blah,
yeah.
blah. And they're like, "Yeah, I don't think you should probably ride again."
Probably not.
And so then I was like, so then I had to miss out on the college finals, and I had to call him and just
dang
like,
it.
"Hey, I can't go." I was
Yeah.
like, which is probably the best move, you know, honestly. 'Cause,
Totally,
yeah.
yeah.
I was really hurt, and my
And
mom's like,
long term, yeah.
and my mom's like, "Are you
Health
are you
first.
dumb? Like, what the hell do you want to do?" And I was like, "I want to go, but I couldn't go." And then after that, I pro rodeo, and then I just went to a bunch of bull ridings, and then I got hurt again in 2023. That was like 2 years ago. No,
It was
13.
2025.
13. I was like, God, that seems like a good. I was like, no.
Remember being hurt?
Showing your age again.
Yeah, I was like, so in 2013, I went to a bull riding in Utah, and then I got really hurt again. And then that one was like, that's when I was like, okay, I think I'm done. Because I had gotten like, not to like TMI, but I had got like hurt, like my private, like I had gotten stepped on really bad.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get stepped on like my nuts, but I got like stepped on
I
my
thought
leg.
this was PG-13. Just turned to
That
R.
went way out the window.
No, so I had,
This is Saddleborn Podcast. This is rated R.
Yeah.
so I had gotten stepped on, and just like my legs, but I got really hurt. And then like I had to like see like urologists.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Scary
really bad.
stuff.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And so then I was like, yeah, I think this might be like that.
It might be
and
time
I
to
was
retire,
Like, I was
yeah.
like 23, and I was like, yeah, shoot, like I think I'm done. Like, and then my dad was like, dude, like if you still want to keep going, if you want to keep going, like go ahead. I said, but, and then I started thinking like, I want to have kids, and I didn't know if I could have kids. So I was like, I better just kind of slow down.
Yeah.
And you are
Yeah.
now blessed with two
Yeah,
kids.
so now I got two wonderful kids, and
Worked
then
out.
even for the longest time, my dad's like, "Are you sure? Like everything's working?" And I said, "Yeah,
We'll see.
I don't know."
I got it.
Yeah,
Two
but
of them.
just for that reason, I just kind of was like, "Oh man," I was like,
It really puts
really-
things into
yeah.
perspective.
I really, and then like I had got like when I got hurt that first time, I was like, that was really bad too. Like,
Yeah.
my sister.
Oh,
Like, it was
yeah,
like,
terrible.
I just kind of was in college, and I'm like, no, like I'm tough. I'm not going home and be like, "Hey, Dad, I need money. Like I'm at the hospital." And
Yeah.
and then finally, like this girl and this guy on my rodeo team, they're like, "You gotta go to the hospital." I was like, I'm like brown skin, and they were like, "You are very white." Because my blood wasn't flowing. you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
And so one of my buddies showed up like with the inhaler, and he's like, "Dude, take a couple puffs of this." And I just like took me in, and they're like, "We gotta fly you like right now." And they're like, "You better call home." And I was like, I didn't have it in me to call my mom.
Right.
You know, like when
You
you're
don't
hurt, I
freak
was
her
like,
out.
"Oh."
Yeah.
because you're
So,
tough.
so then I was like, I called my sister, and I was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Nothing. What's up?" Yeah, I was in college. Like I never called home. What the heck?
Yeah.
And she's like, "What's up?" And I was like, "I'm about to get on the helicopter. I'm going to Tucson." And she's like, "What?"
Yeah.
So then two of my sisters, and my mom jumped in the airplane and flew down to Tucson. And then I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
It was pretty shitty.
Yeah. So what happened? Did you just come off wrong? Did it
No, I actually
run
got
you down?
I actually got a picture of it. Like there was this guy that was went to school, and he would come to the practices and take pictures.
Yeah.
Like he's like, "Oh, can I practice taking pictures?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah." Come on. So I just got bucked off, and then I just like landed underneath the bull, and he just like I was like on all fours, and he just stepped on my back.
Stepped. Gotcha.
And he just like and I don't think he even like punctured my lung, but like my ribs broke inward.
Yeah.
So they like punctured a bunch
Clipped
of
it.
vessels, and then it was like
They just couldn't expand or anything,
and then when
right?
they took X-rays, there was like one lung was like this and one was. Like
Oh, no.
So
And
you
it was,
were
like,
awake
dark.
during all that after your lungs were punctured?
Oh,
or
it
did
took
they
me.
put you in a
No,
coma?
I got hurt, That was like on a Thursday. On a Tuesday. I didn't practice Thursday. We had a rodeo on the weekend. I went to the rodeo.
No.
I got on another bull. I got on another
With
bronc.
punctured lungs.
Yeah, and but I wasn't really hurt. I thought I wasn't really hurt.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really hurt, and so I went. I drew out of the steer wrestling. I was like, dude, I'm not doing steer wrestling. I was like, I'm not gonna jump up, and it was my right side. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I can power through a bull and a bronc. Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna jump up and get a steer.
Cowboy mentality.
So he's like, we'll draw you out of the steer wrestling, and you can get on a bronc, get on a bull. And then the bull stomps me. And then the bronc like goes like across the arena, throws me over the fence, and I'm just like, God, this is gonna be a long ride.
Yeah.
And we're like in Taylor, Arizona. It was so far. So then I got back, didn't go to class the next 2 days, and then they're like, yeah, you should probably go to the doctor.
Yeah.
And then my coach is like, if you don't call home, like I'm calling home right now. I was like, okay. So then I was like, okay. But then I kept riding. So I don't know.
Yeah, so I want to, So I want to hear tomorrow about your big debut.
Oh, tomorrow.
Barrel racing.
Yeah. So tomorrow.
But hold on one second. So tomorrow is the big debut, barrel racing, and then I want to move on to your production company about your bucking bulls.
Tomorrow, my plan is I got 2 barrel horses right now that I'm really working on. I'm just kidding.
Got my 2 prospects.
What are you expecting to run?
Sparkles and gumdrop.
I just hope that the ground's good.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
Well, Sadie.
Is that the right lingo?
You are a barrel
You
racer.
are a barrel racer.
You know the worst thing I ever did in my whole life? I don't think it'll get to these girls because they're just like doing their own lives now. But the worst thing I ever did was go to this college rodeo with 3 girls, and I was like, I don't even know why the hell I did it, but I was like, they're like, hey, you want to jump in? I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
Let's go.
jump in.
Great.
And they had like a 6-horse trailer and 3 girls. Oh my god, that was the worst thing ever. And we're just driving, and they were just like,
They don't shut up.
yeah.
Is it worse than the podcast with 3 girls?
It was pretty bad.
Wow.
He can hear himself on this one.
No, they were just like, God. And then not to like, but I was like, this sucks. Then I just go with my buddies, and then I just drank the whole way. And then I just,
So you probably don't even remember much of it.
no, I remember every bit of it. And
Okay.
I was like and I was like the second year college guy, so I knew like I was supposed to know where we were going.
Yeah.
And then we went to the res. And then
So
it was
you
like,
still didn't even have maps on the phone yet.
No.
You were following the.
And then we
sheet
were
of
following
paper.
like my brain. Like I came here last year, so they're like, "Hey, where are we going?" And they were like already pissed off at me, and I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I'm so drunk right now, and it was snowing, and it was bad. And then finally, I was just like talking. I don't even know what I was saying. I was just talking shit. And they're like, you know what, Efren? If you don't like it, you can just get out and walk. And I said, okay.
No, you didn't.
So I just jumped out. I said, fuck, I don't care. I'll walk. I was like,
You
I
did?
was like, yeah, I'm taking my beer with me though.
Yeah.
Because I knew, like in my mind, I already knew we were like in the gym.
Yeah.
You're in the
How
far did you have to walk?
It wasn't very far. No, it wasn't very far. But it was like we were
Still
like
the point.
we were like around the like say like we made it to the high school and we were going to the fairgrounds like.
Yeah.
But and then I was like
Okay.
and then Trenton from here Trenton Jones I called him and I'm like, dude, these chicks just dropped me off. Can you come get me? He was like, where are you at? And I was like, I have no idea. I was like, just come get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible, and it was snowing.
Yeah.
Too bad you couldn't send a pin then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
But
like,
you're
drop
too
a
old.
pin, come pick me up.
Barrel racers have changed since then, so
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be fine tomorrow.
Yeah.
We should haul
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I was like, and then the worst thing about it, I was like, I'm the only one that's old enough to buy beer. Like,
Yeah.
you guys gonna ditch me?
Yeah.
I'm taking my beer with me. No.
Yeah.
And then it was like the most like just Keystone, and I was like, God, it was horrible. But it was so fun.
He's traumatized.
Honestly, if I could ever do it again, college rodeo was the best. Even high school rodeo was the best time of my life. It was so fun.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
better than the pro rodeos, do you think?
Probably, yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah,
Just because
like
I
the
didn't pro rodeo,
experience.
just because I didn't pro rodeo a lot. Like I did go
Hit
to
a few.
bunch, like I went to like Preston Night Rodeo, Ogden, I went to a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't have like in college, you know, you got like the rodeo team. We're all a team,
camaraderie.
and then we
Yeah.
all go, and then we're all practice, and then we all this. So it was really fun, and I'm sure that if I would have kept pro rodeo, I would have gotten with a group of guys, and it would have been cool. But I just
Yeah.
didn't go enough, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was really fun. I loved it. I loved
Good.
riding bulls and team roving and everything. It was the best time of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's hear about where you are today. How
So
did you get
right
in?
now I am. Whose house is this? Your dad?
Oh. Yeah.
So we're in the studio. Right
Yes,
now.
we're at the studio.
Welcome.
Tech
Welcome.
yeah.
We're in the tech.
Yeah, so no, that just kind of led to like bull riding retired me. They were just like, it was just kind of like I was done. So I was like, this is it. So I've always loved bull riding. I've always loved bulls. I just kind of was like, I don't want to get away from it completely because, like, this is what I, like, even
Because of your identity,
this was like
right?
even before, like,
It's your passion in life.
before I can honestly say, like, I was like, I'm not going to call myself a team roper, but like, before I was a team roping, like, that was even then. And I'm just like, I'm not just going to do nothing. Like, I got to do something. So then we had already, like, when I first left school, we brought some bulls with us that I had bought from a guy down there. And I was like, oh, shit, this is cool. I was like, maybe I can just haul bulls and to practices. I don't know. And then I just had bulls and I just bring them to, like, the high school practices, just kids that I knew. And, it's just shitty to say, and unfortunately, but, like, back then there was, like, so many more kids that got on bulls. And it was fun. And then, like, we built the place at my dad's. And I was like, hey, like, you guys come get on. Like, just come ride or whatever. And then we kind of got hooked up with, like, there's an association that kind of does, like, the same deal like the barrel races. You just raise bulls and you just haul them to competitions. And to somebody that doesn't know, it's just like a bull riding. They're like, oh, it's a bull riding. Same as like a barrel racing. They're like, oh, it's barrel racing.
Yeah.
But like behind the scenes, it's like, oh, I raised this horse. I raised this bull. I pay an entry fee. My bull's better than your bull. My horse is better than your horse. I mean,
So the bulls you haul, do they live at your house?
No, so they stay. I live in Spring Creek, so they live at my dad's house. Yeah.
Where does your dad live?
He lives in Rendon. He's got a little, like, a turn back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
He's
great.
got a little arena that we bucked so many bulls out of there.
Yeah.
A lot of kids. Yeah, we bucked a lot of kids, and then we just kind of started hauling to those deals. They have the same thing, like 2, 3, 4-year-olds. You go compete against all these ages, and then you can, if you have a good enough one, you get to go to the ABBI finals, which is American Buck and Bull Incorporated, and then if they're really good, then they go and be on like pro rodeos, or pro rodeo trucks, and then I just was like, I really like this, So we went and hauled, and they're so fun. Same like your barrel races, I'm sure, and it was just so fun.
It becomes an addiction.
Yeah, it was so fun. Everybody's like, "Why are you going?" I'm like, "Cause this is fucking fun."
Yeah.
We get to see a lot of towns. Like we've been everywhere. Like we've been to Chelan, Washington, like town that probably nobody knows. Just a beautiful town. Lives on the it's on the lake. It's so gorgeous. We've been out there everywhere.
So your bulls go to a lot of Western states.
Yeah. So the association's called the Western States Buck and Bull Association, and like. Shoot, we've been Richfield, Utah, Tooele, Chelan. They're just kind of little towns. To like
putting on the rodeos.
Yeah, producers. Yeah, kind of like same thing.
Community.
Like producers. Yeah, producers that decide to put one on, we go, and then you go, you buck your bulls, you pay your entry fee, and if your bull's good enough, it wins and gets to go. The ABBI finals is awesome. Sure, it's like those. Just not that I know barrel racing that much, but like those all-in barrel races, you get to qualify, you get to go, and it's so. And some people are like, why do you waste your time doing that? And I was like, dude, if you were to come, you would love this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
We say we leave, we're crazy. We leave Thursday night at midnight, whatever it is. Drive all night. We show up there, drop our bulls off, and then we're like, let's go find a golf course or something. Like
mini vacation.
Yeah. We're like,
make the best
fun.
out of it. Yeah,
cool. It was so fun. We've been to so many, we've been hit so many golf courses, and then the buddies, that we have, we're just like, hey, are you guys going? We're like, yeah, we're going. Okay, cool. We'll make a tea time, okay, and then we'll go have lunch, and then we'll go this, and then they'll have a bowling tournament or whatever, and then we'll just buck our bulls and turn around and compete. It's really so much fun.
So and do you ever raise any calves?
No, we had cows, we had really good cows. Mm-hmm. We had cows that are a bull out of bushwhack, really good cows.
Oh, so you would actually AI them?
Yeah. No, we never really did AI because not to whatever, but there was really not really a good facility here that we could do that. So we never really did AI, but we did live. You mean live cover and stuff?
Yeah.
But then we started kind of.
So the calf hit the ground at your house.
Yeah. So we've done that, and then we did that for a couple years, and then that's when I had a nephew that was in it, and then my brother was in it, and then they were everybody, and then kind of everybody just started having their own lives, so they kind of split off. But then it kind of as far as the buck and bull industry goes, I'm sure it's the horse, the race horses and the barrel horses. It's gotten so genetically proven that I can go buy one. Mm-hmm. I can go buy a yearling that's going to cost me $8,000, and I know that at a 2-year-old he's going to win it all back because genetically he's bred to buck.
Absolutely,
and you're not going to have the heartbreak.
And I'm not going to have I'm not 9 months into it by the time the cow calves, and then I got to wait another 2 years, and then I hope he bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So we did do it. We did both. Mm-hmm. And then, but anymore, if we're just let's just go buy one that we can go win with.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
so
and it's
good.
just fun.
And that that showcases other people's programs, and that's the
Yeah.
whole point. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's and it's fun, and then like I don't know, like in the buck and bull industry, it's I mean there's the big producers that are like, these are the name guys. Like, if you want to go win, you got to buy something. But I'm just like, that's fine. I don't care. Like, I just want to go play and have fun.
So are you looking for a certain bloodline when you're buying?
Anymore, yeah. Like, there's bulls that are just like, if he's not bred like this or like this, some people are like, well, I got a Bramer cow. Can I breed? I'm like, damn, she's not gonna buck.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I was like, it's gonna look cool, but it's not gonna buck. Like, no. I was like, no. So anymore, like you gotta kind of like.
She's a pretty face.
Be a little more
She's got a pretty
specialized.
face and she's got big ears. I'm just like, no, that's not, like, don't waste your time. Yeah, so anymore, like, if you can just hand pick them, and there's just so many of them that you're just like, hey, just go buy 2 of them and just go have fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
Have you taken any of your calves to the fertility then?
Yeah, we've taken some in the past that we've hauled, like as because they have a yearling class. We don't really do 2 yearlings because yearlings are like hit or
How old
miss.
do they have to be when they go to?
They can be 1.
Oh, they can be one.
and then they have 2, and then they have 3, 4, and even now they have 5.
And so say they're 1 when they go. Have you already dummy bucked them at your house?
Yeah.
So they
That's the only thing that's kind of like with like 1-year-old. It's like you can't really compare it to like a barrel horse, but it's like he's really good at the house, but then I'm gonna haul him 300 miles and he'll
Right,
bucks.
yeah. I mean, you have this stress, and are they eating or drinking, and are they going to buck the same
and
as when you saw them buck at home?
There's a lot to it, and then like at home, there's just like me and you, and there's nothing, and then you go to the deal, and it's like a gazillion other bulls.
It's
and,
like a
crowd.
horse. It knows its arena.
yeah. So there's been a lot of times where like you go out there and you buck your bull and you pay your entry fee and whatever, and you're just like, God dang, he bucked at the house.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I swear he
I
bucks.
promise he did it.
Yeah.
How do you score at these events? And
so the scoring on those is just like essentially like you guys know enough, but like if you see this sucker getting 2 feet in the air, kicking over his head, and just a million miles an hour, you're like, that sucker bucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you see one like crow hop across the room, and you're like, yeah, that was.
No thanks.
So
You're
essentially,
out.
like the easiest way to say it is like, yeah, he spun fast, he kicked high, and he had agility, and he had a lot of action. There's some that might like jump high, and they're just like, you're like,
Yeah, it's just straight up and down.
Almost
I mean,
like
he
a
got
pretty
high,
buck.
but he had no action. He had no, you know what I mean? But then if you see one that's like, and you're just like, holy shit, that's a buck. Yeah, you can definitely like, I myself, I would never want to be a judge. Like,
That has to be a hard
yeah,
job.
it's so hard.
Yeah.
But then it's like, but then when you get like 4 judges and you're like, well, as long as we all saw the same thing and we're not sitting next to each other, like, clearly he won. You know?
That's
but
fair.
but it's the same thing, like, and I'm not trying to bag on the buck and bull deal, but it's like, there's always going to be somebody who's always like, well, my bull should have won. I said, well, shit, so do I think the same thing, or I wouldn't have
That's
came.
anybody anywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
Anybody.
So-
that's the hard thing about events that aren't like timey events is it's somebody's opinion,
Yeah.
somebody's preference. So
Yeah.
All
no
the
matter
politics.
whatever somebody likes in their showmanship or presentation, but I mean,
Yeah, and I
rough
just
stock,
thought-
too.
They,
Right,
exactly.
Yeah, they even got to the point too where like, not to like try to accommodate, but they did like a 6-judge deal. So it's like, okay, we're gonna drop the highest and we're gonna drop the lowest, and then the 4 in the middle are kind of like the average. So it's like, okay, you can't really pitch because they dropped.
You
the high,
had
dropped
every
the low.
opportunity.
Yeah. So it's like,
makes sense.
and I know there's been times that we've went and it's like, at the end they put out the scores and you're just like, how the hell am I a 20, a 20, a 20, and a 14?
Yeah.
Did he close his eyes?
Yeah. It could be.
Yeah.
Cool move.
Yeah. And I don't know, at the end of the day, people are like, well, they don't like me. I'm just like, dude, if you're in it for money, or if you're in it, I mean, everybody obviously don't want to lose money. I said, but, dude, you're going to win, you're going to lose. It is what it is. You got to take your wins.
right?
You got to take your wins like you take your losses. That's just what it is. I don't know. So, yeah, no, it's so fun, though. The bulls are fun. And then, we just kind of started doing that. And then I had my boy, and then I'm just kind of slowed down a little bit. We've hauled the PBRs a little bit, and we've had some cool moments in the PBR. It's been fun. Yeah, it's so fun. I love bulls. I love.
Do you
rodeo.
have one bull that you like?
I would
breed like freeze semen or anything.
No,
when the semen goes out?
no, not really here. Just because I don't really have nowhere to, and I don't have no cows to do. And honestly, like if it's gonna cost me more to like go collect and freeze than this when I can just go buy like a $1,500 straw of whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
But there is
results of
Yeah, but there is
almost
a
what
lot
you're
of
gonna
like the big names. Heck yeah, they do that. They're like
Yeah.
they flush, they breed, they
Right.
collect, they
Yeah.
do all that stuff. And I'm
It's
just
like the horse world.
yeah. And I'm just like, yeah. So yeah, I just kind of we've hauled a couple PBRs and yeah, it's so fun.
So how do you get selected to enter your bull for the PBR?
So it's being like I'm not gonna say nobody because I don't want to call myself a nobody, but like being
Nobody's a nobody.
being
town.
like a little dude from Elko.
Yeah.
Like nobody's gonna be like, oh, let me call the guy from Elko to
Yeah.
come to
Yeah.
Sacramento, California. They're like,
Yeah.
who the hell is that?
Yeah.
Honestly, like when I first got to take them, I literally was like bugging. Like I just was like, because there's these guys that come from Texas and Oklahoma, and,
Yeah.
and like these big name guys that are gonna bring you 20 bulls on a truck.
Yeah.
And they're like, why the hell am I gonna go mess with this guy who can bring me 2 when I got this guy who can bring me 20?
Right.
And then you go to those buildings and they're just like we've been to where the Golden One Center, where the Kings play, and like these big buildings, and you're like, when you go to those buildings, it's like, I want the guy that can bring the most on one truck. If
Yeah.
I'm showing up with the trailer,
Because they're paying
Yeah.
for the hall too.
the hall, and
So
then we got to
20
park,
versus
and then we
2.
got to park. You know how those
Yeah.
places
Yeah.
are. There's just nowhere to park.
Yeah.
Right.
So, anyways, yeah. So when I first got to go, I just was like, I kind of tried like piggybacking on some people I know. I just was like, hey, like, if you want to just take them, like, just take them, and I don't care if it goes
Yeah.
under your name, like, just go take
Yeah.
them. I just want to see my bull like on TV.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then,
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
really rewarding.
And then people were like, and then not that they told me, but I'm thinking like they were just like, why am I gonna take your bull when I can take my bull?
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
kind of was like, well, screw it. I was like, I'll just keep doing it. So I just like got in touch with people I knew and got numbers and called people, and then I just
kept throwing it out there.
yeah, and then I got in touch with like the guy that's the director of livestock, and I just was like texting, videos, calling, texting, like
Pick me.
yeah,
Just persistent.
Essentially,
It
I'm like,
pays off.
I was literally just waiting for this guy to be like, dude, no, like, what the hell are you talking
Yeah.
about? Stop bugging me. Yeah. Block my number. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, God. So, yeah, so luckily he didn't. But I was like, and then I actually, one day I was just, on the weekends, I was helping my buddy. I was just day working, and I was like, we're about to get horses in because we're going to go ride a circle or something. And this guy calls me, and he's like, hey, is this Efren? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like on the four-wheeler, and I shut
Yeah.
the four-wheeler off, and I'm like, yeah, who's this? He's like, oh, it's Cody Lambert. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I was like, yeah, whatever. He's like, can you get that boat here tomorrow? And I'm like,
I will.
hell yeah.
Anything.
And I told my buddy, I was like, I gotta go. And
Yeah.
he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I gotta go, dude. I gotta get this bull. I gotta get out of here, and I'm out.
Oh,
And I
that's so cool.
I didn't even have like a health cert. Like I had my blood work and stuff, but I didn't have
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
health cert. And I was like, I need a fucking health cert.
Call
right
every
now.
vet I know
So
now.
I called my vet. I got a brand inspection, and then especially going into California,
Uh-huh.
I was like, I need my shit like now. And
Yeah.
look, it all worked out, and I was able to go. And yeah, that was like, and he was just one bull, and he's like, yeah, if you can get him here tomorrow, we'll put him in the draw. And I said,
What inspired you to start your own event here?
so honestly, like it kind of goes back a little bit to going to the PBRs, like
Yeah.
like what we were saying. So when I got to go to the first one, all my family was like, shit, you're taking a bull to the PBR? Let's go. And
Yeah.
it was literally, and it was crazy because it was all like overnight.
Yeah.
And it was like, if I was just to tell you guys, hey, tomorrow we're going to, let's go to Reno. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
So everybody loaded up and we all hauled ass, and it was like for one bull.
Yeah,
And
like,
then it's
we're
like, we gotta buy tickets, we gotta buy tickets, we gotta buy
exciting.
tickets. And I was just like, fuck, everybody's going. So we took like 4 cars and everybody went. It was awesome. And it was
Yeah.
awesome. And then we got to go to a couple more. You know, we've been to like Arizona, California, just Idaho, and we're just like, yeah, this is cool, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, just fun fact. So then, a couple years back, like in 2020, the PBR has always been like a just straight like me against you type thing, you know, like a
Okay.
barrel race. So it's always just like a competition.
Yeah.
And then, like in 2020, they made it into a teams thing.
Oh.
So I don't know if you guys follow or know anything about PBR,
Yeah.
but they made it into a team thing. So then they started doing, which is kind of cool, you know, for like, I can kind of see how they did it. And then some people were like, why are you going to do teams? Like, this is an individual sport. I don't want to be on a team. But they made a teams thing. So they started doing all these other teams. And then, so in 2020 was the first year that they did the teams thing. And they did like the gamblers and the whatever it is. And they made all these teams. And then throughout the year, it was straight up like, if we were on a team, our scores against their scores. You know, like if I ride, I get my score plus your score plus whatever. And so then they had their season. They did their inaugural season, whatever. And then they had their last season event was in Glendale, Arizona.
Okay.
And so then they called us to go down, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, like we're going. So me and my buddy, which is one of my partners now, he's a roofing guy, Harvey. We went, and we're like, fuck, yeah, we're driving down there. So we loaded up and we went, And then, just like, and this is like my proud moment.
Yes.
We were down there,
Let's
and
hear
then
it.
and then they do like an MVP for the whole year.
Oh, okay.
And then it's essentially the guy that rode the most bulls. Mm-hmm. And the guy that was like in the running for the MVP drew my bull. And I was like, oh my God. I was like,
Oh, great.
And I knew this guy was like, he's a badass. Like, he's a world champion, whatever. And I was like, this guy's going to ride the shit out of my bull. I was like, but I don't even care. I was like, this is so cool.
Make it look
And so,
we made it.
yeah,
We made it.
I was like, and it's like, it's not like nothing like to like, compare to like a world title of anything, but it's like, this is badass. This is the inaugural year of the team's challenge, and they're about to win this deal on my bull. So then this guy drew him, and then when they do the draw, like they give four. So say it's four of us, and they give him 4 bulls, and they're like, okay, you guys pick whoever you want to get on this bull. Mm-hmm. And then I'm assuming like the coach was like, dude, ride this bull, like you will like seal the deal.
score well,
You will seal the deal. You will score good, and you got it. And then me and my buddy are back there like, dude, we just drew, and he's a world like past world champion. I'm just like, this guy's about to spur the shit out of my bull. I was like, but I don't even care.
Yeah.
And then so he like goes, and then like like Instagram and Facebook, and they do all that deal. And then he wrote the shit out of him, and then me and him are in the background, whatever. And then like we went and checked like the Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And it's so cool. Like they do like the interview, like the commentating, and they're like, and I'll show you guys. It's like, Jose Vitor, let me just seal the MVP, blah, 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 blah. And it's like on my bull. And then it was
Saying his name on
all over Instagram. I was like, that was so badass. I like shared it and reposted it and reposted it and reposted it.
Living this moment.
Yeah. And then at like the end of the deal, it's like, he's the MVP. And it's like me in the background. I was like,
Yes.
I was like, that was the best thing ever. It was so cool.
That was
Honestly.
me.
Yeah, that was me. I was like,
that.
oh my God, that was so fucking cool. That was probably like my
What was
like,
the bull's name?
his name was Chainsaw. I can show you guys like just while we're talking. It was so cool. And then we were and then like so between that and like the first time that I ever got to go, I don't even know which one was better, because like when we first took one, every like after like the first round for whatever, they'll go to like the director of livestock, and they're like, hey, like what did you see, or what do you want to see for tomorrow? And then I even have that one too. And they talk Kate Harrison's talking to this guy, Cody Lambert, and he's like, what do you want to see for tomorrow? And he's like, well, last night I talked to this guy out of Elko, Nevada. And he's like talking about us.
That's me.
Yeah, and it was like on CBS Sports, and I was like, that's badass.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, so that was like, to me, I was like, God damn, that was so cool. And he's like, yeah, he's bringing this bull, and he said his name and everything, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Big
so-
things come from small towns.
Yeah, so between like that and then like the MVP win, I was like, I don't even know which one was better, because they were both.
Yeah.
Like to me and to somebody, it'll be like, oh, that was dumb, and I'm like, no, that was not dumb.
It was like all your
That
work
was-
coming
yeah.
together, right?
That's when
Still
I
on Chainsaw.
yeah, that's when I finally knew, like, and then everybody's like, dude, I seen your bull, and then like a bunch of our friends, that like follow us and talk to us, and they're just like, dude, we seen you guys on TV, you guys look so badass, and I was like, that was fucking the best thing ever.
Best day of my life.
And I was like, and it might not have been like so cool, but I was like, that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
To me, but I don't know. So yeah, so then we just started. Now I'm not gonna find it.
So Chainsaw lives in Rendon.
Yeah. Now he's honestly now. I tried to retire him, like just call it quits, because he's a 2013, so he's 12.
He's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 12 this year. And I was like, what, he's been so good. I was like, I just want him to go out on top, and he just was like the first bull that got me there. And then he's the first bull, and then they won the first ever MVP on him. I was like, he's like on top. And
He's
then
definitely got a good title.
And then some of the kids, like, here's the video.
Qualified ride that seals the deal. You're looking at him. The two-time champ, Jose Vitor Lemi, just won the first ever PBR Team Series MVP race.
We hauled him as a dummy bull, and he was just like not really that good. He was just kind of like, he just kind of.
So the dummy he didn't really care about.
Yeah, he was like, no, it's kind of cool. And then we just
This is
put
a
rider
toddler
on him,
on
and
me.
I was like, this is bad.
He went to town. Yeah.
What's the
you-
training program like then from starting them up?
So like
what do you do?
when they're so little, you kind of you almost want to be like kind of careful, because they're so little, like young horses.
Yeah.
the most toughest animals unless you have a good plan for them.
Yeah, and you just gotta kind of take it easy on them. And like some people won't even touch them until they're like 2, because they're like, you gotta let them develop. And they buck so hard, and just like a cutting horse or a barrel horse, they make so many sharp turns and turn so hard. In this, you go run one like a cutting horse in the ground. Same with the bull. If you're so hard on them when they're young, they're just, And then it's crazy because like some bulls, they're not dummy bulls. Like if they don't feel like something like a bull rope and
they won't
legs,
buck the same.
They don't have the pressure.
like the best bull that's ever come from ever, like in my opinion, some people have a different opinion, but like 3-time world champ, just a badass bull. He was a 3-time world champion, just amazing. The guy was gonna like coal him when he was young because he just was shit. He was garbage. Like he didn't even buck. Yeah. And then he's like, I'm just gonna keep him. And then he just like kept him, and then boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Like you look up bushwhacker, and it's like bushwhacker bull.
Yeah. Oh wow. So the bull's not out because it didn't buck with a dummy.
Yeah, a lot of people would just be like, "No, I'm done."
Yeah.
But anymore, like I was saying, the genetics, or if the genetics are there, they'll kind of wait. But if there's not genetics and he doesn't buck,
industry's changing and maturing.
Yeah.
And you learn more about like growth and development and maturing
and then like not me, but like these guys that breed these, hundreds and hundreds of bucking bulls. They know what works and what doesn't.
Right. Yeah.
Like, like that bull, unfortunately, that bull that was a world champion, he, up until now, he hasn't been the best producer. But like the daughters, his daughters are good producers. So it's like, so everybody, you kind so you kind of know. But
that's so fun.
Yeah. So then, I just did a bunch of those, and then we still go and buck bulls. We buck bulls on Wednesday. Took some bulls to the high school kids. And,
you do?
Yeah.
You take them to Wednesday at the Horse Palace.
Wherever I can help.
How fun. I would go watch.
Go pick up broncs, help the kids.
Give them back to your roots.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'll come help. I was like, I might not be no help, but I'm going to come. No, but I can know how to do it a little bit. I know how to pick up broncs. I know how to rope bulls and whatever. And then, after that, I hauled to a bunch of those events, the Western States, and then all the guys were like, I was just going to them, and these guys were like, dude, they had put one on here before. Like John Wright from Capriolas had put one on here before.
Okay.
I think he did it for 2 years. Yeah. And then he kind of just, same thing. My guess is he just kind of started chasing his kids, which is understandable. And then you just kind of
life is busy with kids.
Kind of got rid of bulls, and then he stopped going. And then I was like, well, shoot, I'll do one. Mm-hmm. So then I absolutely knew shit about anything. I just kind of started.
Seems like you know a lot.
I just kind of started asking like people like, hey, like I'm gonna do an event here.
Yeah, and I saw your Gold Rush flyers up at like Boot Barn and around town.
Yeah, so then I started just like honestly just doing my research, and I've been doing enough bull ridings. Like I know how a bull riding should work.
Yeah.
But like the production side of it, I was like
a whole different story.
I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Well, you did a really good job. I went and had so much fun. It was my first time going to an event like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've grown up watching it.
So I went, and then I just started asking around, and then thankfully I've developed relationships with a lot of people, and I just kind of was like, hey, like this is what I'm trying to do. Like, where can you help me? What can I do? What should I do?
Yeah.
And then I just asked around, and I knew enough people in the rodeo world that I just kind of started asking, and then with like the convention center, I started doing like the marketing, and then like one like big advertising, and then like honestly like my work, what I do for work, like really helps me because I have relationships with everybody.
Yeah.
So I just kind of was like, hey, would you want to sponsor bull riders?
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah. And then actually, and then it's kind of like the first year that we did it was the first year that was in 2020, and it was the COVID year.
Yes. Yeah.
So we were like, my deal was like the end of 2019, coming 2020. My plan was like Memorial Day 2020. That's gonna be my bull riding.
Yeah.
And that was my plan. So like going into the year, I was like guns a-blazing, and then whatever it was, like March or whatever, when COVID hit, then it was like all this, they shut everything down and all this shit, and I'm just like, I'm like so deep into this. I was like, I'm doing this shit right now. I'm doing this one way or another.
So you still put it on?
Yeah, so I still did.
Well, and this county is fantastic.
Yeah, so then I started looking at like in the rodeo world, I'm just same as you guys. I was like, okay, I need to pick a date that's not gonna, especially now when there's like that not been, like the bull riding's decreased.
Yeah.
Like the bull riders and the numbers just have gone down. I said I need to pick a date that's gonna work.
But not high school rodeo.
Yeah,
and
like
everything
it's
else.
not high school rodeo. It's not like the Stampede weekend.
Right.
It's not like Snake River Stampede. Yep. It's not like 4th of July run. It's not like everything. I'm not on top of somebody else's event. I was like, I got to look at all these dates. So I started looking and looking and looking. And then the fairgrounds. I got to make sure the fairgrounds available. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh shit. So I started looking at all these dates, and then I looked May, June, July, August, September, and then I was like, September's gonna work. And then I was like, screw it, I'm doing after the weekend after Labor Day. So I scheduled that, and then the first year that we did it, we had to go through like all the COVID bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I had to do like a mitigation plan. I had to like tell them how I was gonna keep all this, but I was so deep in.
So you didn't make the people sit 10 feet apart?
Oh hell! I told them. I even told them, and they're like, because I was like, oh,
I'm kidding.
I think my wording was.
I hope they held hands.
I was banged up, so I probably was holding hands with somebody. No, but I was like, and then when like you go and I had to go like up like to the state and all this shit, because I was like so deep into it, like sponsor money. And I had advertising, and I was like, I'm into this.
A
like,
lot
I'm doing
behind
this
it.
shit. I had to look into like how I could like essentially like bend the rules or go around. And it's like I was an equestrian like event.
Yes.
So I was
like outdoors.
I was like outdoors, and then I was like telling them about like mitigation plan about like how I was gonna enforce. And then like my wording was wrong. I sent it to them, and they're like, no, we don't want you to enforce it. We need you to. Oh no! I said suggest or some shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna suggest that everybody 6 seats, whatever it was, 6 feet apart, blah blah. And they're like, no, you need to enforce. Well, I'm just like, oh my fucking God. Yeah. So then I had to have like people at the gate, like checking temperatures, giving masks, just to like.
I forgot about the temperature.
Yes.
The temp checks.
Yeah. I had to do like temp checks. I had to do temp checks. I had to do. Had to have stations.
And you still just pushed through and did it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm doing it.
I'm here for it.
I was like, I don't care. I'm so deep into this. I was like, I don't care. And I was like, until you do the shit that I did, like, don't tell me anything.
Yeah.
Because people were like, how can you have a rodeo or a bull riding, but you can't have a softball tournament? Right. And I'm just like,
jump through the hoops.
Listen, dude,
so much
I was like in meetings, writing papers, everything.
Yeah.
So don't sit here and tell me that
everything that goes on behind the scenes that the public doesn't know.
And then I was pissed because I was like, I've put a lot of work into this.
Don't care.
Yeah. So
still doing it.
They did cancel like a lot of stuff, and mine didn't. And thankfully it didn't.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So then even the second year, I think it was still good. Remember, it was 21. It was still kind of there.
On the fence.
And then I just kind of was like, I'm still doing it. And then now we're going, it was 20, 21,
so this
22,
is your 5th
23,
year.
24. This is our 6th year.
6th year.
Yeah,
awesome.
So we've been every year, and then I just, like I said, we've just been kind of trying to grow it. And
so that'll be June this year again.
September. Yeah. So
you do a great job. And going back to what we were giggling about, have some water. Fake it till you make it. I mean, your setup, everything, it is spot on, professional right from the get go. You're doing a really great job.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of always told. Luckily, I'm not even going to take credit for all of it. I've had a lot of people behind me and help me, my partners, friends, the sheriff's office, my sponsors. It's been thankfully it's been really good.
Yeah.
And then that's why I always tell everybody, I'm like, dude, honestly, if I can help you grow anything, or I can help you in any way, tell me. And then if you can see anything that I'm doing that you don't like or you would rather see, I was like, tell me. I was like, because I don't know. Like I go to we go to the bull ride. We used to take, up until it turned into Extreme Bulls, we used to take bulls to Fallon for that New Year's kickoff. Yeah. There was things that I would look at. I'm like, oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
And then I steal it and use it in the mine and do this. And I'm just like, I just want to make it better. And then, like, people think, like, oh, you just want... I was like, no, I don't want anything. I was like, I want to bring you guys entertainment. Like, if you guys were to see, like, how stressed I am from, like, January to... No.
It's so fun for the community.
Yeah, I was like, it's fun for you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, it's fun. You could take the kids out and hang out. And
that's so fun.
And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of freaking work. And then it's like... One day we buck bulls and then it's all gone the next day.
Yeah, and like, we did it.
That's done.
But when you hear, like... I've heard negative and positive, but when you hear like the positive feedback, I'm like, that was good.
Worth every minute of it.
Yeah,
and then,
absolutely.
And you're helping grow. I mean, the adults are good, great, and talented in this area too, but the kids in this area are such hardworking, good, talented kids, and you're giving them opportunities they wouldn't have had.
Yeah, and that's why honestly, like, like we'll go to like when I go present it to like the board of marketing for Elko County, I'm just like, dude, I like to bring like mutton busting. Yeah. I was like, people love mutton busting.
I love it.
I was like, the kids love it. The people love to watch it. I was like, people show up just for that.
I
was like,
can't believe. How
people,
many?
If people have never gone to like watch something, like, you know, like firsthand, like simple, like ride a horse or ride this or do that or that, you never know. But when you go, you're like, that was so fucking badass.
Yeah.
You know, there's people that I'm like, hey, dude, like, come check this out, and I'll take them to like practice, and they're like, holy shit, that was cool, and I'm just like, dude, that was like practice. What are you talking about? What the hell would you do if you were like to go like to an event and you just like get to see everything full hands, and they're like,
The crowd and everything
Yeah.
going wild.
and then when we like take kids like that, they're like, fuck, they love it. You know, they love it. And then like we've gotten to the point where like we take our sponsors like behind the shoots, and they're just like, holy shit, this is the best thing ever. Right. And it's great. You know, like you guys know,
So
there's like
fun.
bulls going crazy, and there's just,
And all the energy.
yeah, the energy. They're just like, holy shit, this is cool.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
compared to practice.
Yeah. So we've just kind of been trying to do that, and honestly, I just like I told Sadie, I said, we got to do. You know, like I told her last year, I was like, let's do like a barrel race like the night before or something.
Yeah.
Like, let's
We're
make
in.
a 2-day thing out of this or something. You know.
Sandy will say yes.
That's a great idea.
Keep pushing it, please.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But yeah, this year September 6th, I think. I don't know.
September 6th.
September
Okay.
6th.
Barrel race and bull riding.
Barrel race. Not at the same time. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of what we're working on now. You know, we just haul a couple bulls and put on that bull riding, and yeah, it's so fun. And then
So September 6th is right after Elko Fair.
yeah, it's always the weekend after.
Yep.
It's between the fair and the
Van Norman Horse Sale.
Yeah. It's the weekend right after. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then from then
That's
I just
fun.
since after we kind of started slowing down a little bit hauling bulls, just because I love hauling bulls and it's so fun and I love going and it's this, but not that we do anything crazy or anything, but like it's a little bit harder like with my kids, you know.
Yeah.
And I got my boy. My boy loves it. My boy loves riding. My boy loves everything. But he's just like he wants to ride a horse. Like he's like, Dad, I wanna ride a horse.
I'm
Like,
ready,
whatever.
Dad.
So I just kind of was like, then I kind of started picking up like team roping a little bit more, and I was like, yeah,
You've got a timey, huh?
yeah. And that's what I told her. Everybody always is like, well, what if he doesn't ride bulls? And I was like, that's fine. I don't give a shit.
Team roping's
I
fun.
was like, as long as he's with me, doing something, I said, I don't even care if he. I mean, I would prefer him to rodeo. I said, but if he's not riding bulls, I don't care. I said, I rode bulls. I said, I got pins in my arm. I punctured my lung. I broke everything, and I don't want that for you.
Yeah.
I said, if he wants to do it, hell yeah. Like, even last year, he was, like, I was like, obviously, I wanted him. I was like, son, come on, get him on busting. And he's like, I don't want that. I'm like, and then like once or twice, I was like, you're getting on. And then finally, I was like, nah, if you don't want to get on, it's fine. I was like,
Ride your
the
horse.
passion's not
yeah. And who knows? Maybe
And
like,
he's so handy on his horse.
Yeah,
anyway,
maybe
so
like-
you're right.
maybe like this year or whatever, he'll pick it up and he'll want to do it. And if he does, cool. And then I just kind of was like, I never want to get to the point where I'm like, oh, you need to. I was like,
Take the fun out.
I like push him a little bit. Like I push him because I'm like,
keep him accountable.
That's what parents are for.
Shouldn't,
Yeah.
what parents shouldn't push you. I said, but I'm never gonna try to live dreams that I didn't accomplish to him. I'm like, no, dude, like do your own thing. Like if we're here to practice, you're gonna practice. Like if we practice good. I said, but I'm not like, you need to.
Parenting didn't come
so
with a
he's
manual.
picking the direction.
Yeah, I was like, but I'm not. I at least I hope. At least I think I'm not like super hard on him. But I'm like, yeah, shoot, if you want to rope, dude, let's go rope. So we rope and ride and try to team rope a little bit. And
He was pretty handy at the branding. Like
he's pretty-
when he was riding across, I'm like, holy
That's
cow, this
cute.
kid. Yeah, and he was in the middle of all of it. He was not being left out. He was trying to tip
he's
I'm here to
always-
work.
Yeah, he's like even now. I just like even look at pictures from like the year, like last year, and I'm like, he was tiny.
Makes you so
And then
proud.
now he's like, boom, and I'm just like, dude, you're huge now. You're freaking crazy.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
it.
so we go. Yeah, we do
Cute.
like now with like the junior rodeos. You know, they have the series here in town.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. And I
So thankful.
I don't know
for
how
that.
much. You know, there's only so much that I can do or you can do. But I was like, anything that I can do to keep that, because I was like, they have a rodeo series here. I was like, that's badass.
It is so cool. And it's a ton of work, you know, to get
I
all
was
the
like,
stock.
and that's so nice to have that here. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll go to all of them. I don't
Yeah.
care. You know, I'll go to barrel races. I'll go to
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
I don't
We will
care.
all see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's kind of just been. I don't know. We've just been roping and raising bulls and bucking bulls and
Yeah.
riding.
So when you started, Marlene, your little neighbor, your buddy, she was telling me all
my
about
coach.
your coach, your team roping coach.
We love
She said
Mar.
you've been traveling all over the place roping.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, not really too much. I mean,
traveling outside of Elko.
not even like I don't know. I'm not a good team roper, but I'm like, I was like, I'm gonna go try. Like, I'm gonna go rope. Like, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go rope.
Yeah.
I said, I don't care what I have to do.
I think that's your motto.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going. I was like, I don't care. So then, like, yeah, we start. I first I was kind of like, I just had like this little ranch mare, and I was like, man, I think she knows how to rope. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, I branded on her, I roped on her, I drug tabs on her. I was like, but done everything on her. And I was like, what's a fucking roping box to her?
And tomorrow's their debut.
Yeah.
Put her in, tomorrow I'll run barrels on her.
Yeah.
Tomorrow she's a barrel. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, screw it. I was like, I'm just gonna rope. So then I started team roping, and then I just was like, I'm gonna go wherever I have good practice. I'm gonna go where people can make me better, and I'm gonna make and learn.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go team rope. And then we just started.
That's right.
And then like, team rope is a little bit different. Like in my eyes, you know, I'm not a team rope, but I'm like, in my eyes, I'm like, it's kind of a little bit shittier because you're like, you got your partner.
Yeah.
But you're like,
don't let me down.
Hopefully you don't drown me.
It's not just you and me today, buddy.
Yeah, if it was like just me and I could just like, hey, I missed, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's like, I go rope like the shit out of the steer, and then my partner shits the bed, and I'm just like,
Or
God
what if
damn.
your partner goes out there and kills it and you shit the bed?
Hey, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Vice
Let me tell you a
versa.
better story. This is
let's hear
this is
it.
a good story.
Okay.
So this year, last year we roped at the finale. Me and my buddy, best friend, one of the ones that I met in high school, that I was telling you, like my brown buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's from Vegas.
The brown buddy.
The brown buddy. So we were so it's kind of so we both rode bulls. We both knew shit about. I knew how to ride and stuff, but I was like a team roper. And then we're like, dude, well, we're done bull riding. Let's team rope.
Yeah.
Fuck it. So then he started team roping, and I team rope now. And then we're like, fuck, we're best friends. Let's rope together. So we went and roped last year at the finale. It wasn't like as good as this year. And then we got a fast time at the finale. It was cool. Like, you know, like those little things that make you like.
Just your cross.
Exactly, those little things that I'm just
big.
like, I'm like, okay, like we won in a 7 rope, and I was like, I don't care, but I'm not team rope, neither are you. So we just did good. Who gives a shit? We got our entry fees back.
Yeah.
So then we started like more serious into team roping and practicing, looking a couple times a week, whatever. And then this last year we went and entered like deep. We roped. We're like, we're gonna go rope. We're gonna go do this. Like, whatever. We're there. Like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Bring it.
So we went down there a week early, stayed at his place, roped, and then practiced all week. Went and entered a bunch of ropings. We won second in this big roping. We were like psyched. We were like, he was heading, I was heeling. We won second in this roping. It paid really freaking good. And
Yeah.
it was like a higher number roping than we are. And I was like, dude, we're fucking good.
Are we
I
team
was like, we're
ropers?
pretty good.
Confidence
That's what-
booster.
And then me still, I'm like, dude, you know what would have been better than that? He's like, well, I was like, who would have got first?
Yeah.
I was like, we would have got
Always
buckles,
room
dude.
for
I was like,
improvement.
yeah. And then I started looking at the times, and I'm like, and it's like they beat us by like 6 or 7 seconds. And I'm like, damn it, if I wouldn't have legged that one, we would have got it. And I was like, but I'm like, fuck yeah. I was like, that's what I'm for. I'm like,
competitive.
I was like, a buckle's nothing, but I was like, a buckle to me, I was like, that's badass. World Series team roping.
It is
whatever.
nothing.
I'm a winner.
So we were like, we won good outside. We roped good in the other opens, whatever, and then we had our finale. And this goes back to like the team roping as if it was just like a single person event. And we entered our finale, which like pays like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. We roped our first steer. He roped our first steer. I roped the shit out of our steer. And then he roped our second steer. And then I roped the shit out of him again. And then somehow, some way, when he had his coils in his hand and he let a coil out.
Yeah.
And he like turned his horse, and a coil came out of his hand, and it cut his thumb off.
Oh, bad.
Like the whole thumb?
Like
It was gone.
Just
Didn't
a
get
little
sewed
nub.
back
Like
on
the-
or nothing.
like from the knuckle up.
Oh,
That's
shoot.
bad.
Yeah, so I was
don't like it.
and then we had already won like a good pile of, won a good pile of money.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So then this goes back to like the part of like if it was just me.
Yeah.
So we're like, so I was like,
Just me and you wouldn't have happened, buddy.
so we're like roping, and I'm like, and so the way that goes, like you rope your first steer in the big arena, and then you go through like half of them, and then you rope your second steer in the big arena. And then after your second steer, you go to your third arena like immediately.
Yeah.
So that was after our second steer, and we were supposed to go like to the next arena like right after. And like we were sitting good, like we were gonna whoop these fucking asses.
Yeah.
In my eyes, I don't know, maybe
I
not.
was gonna win.
In my eyes. And then like we ride out the bottom end of the arena, and he's like going out first because he's got the steer, and I'm behind him, and I'm like, and he's like, shit. And he's like starts cussing. I'm like, what? He's like, I just cut my thumb off. And I'm like, and you know, you kind of screw around about that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you didn't. And he's like, I just cut
I did.
my thumb off. And I was like, no. And I look, and he's like, yeah, I did. Look. And he lets his rope go. And he puts his hand up, and he's got his glove on. And I'm like, oh. I was like, it's like bloody, and then it's just like
just
like
little
4
nug,
fingers.
a little
And I
nugget,
was
and
just
then-
like, so we're like at the bottom end of the arena, and I'm just like waiting. And I'm like, so are we going to rope our third steer?
Or are you gonna let me
Can
down?
you rope thumbless?
Yeah, and then he's like, he's still got his glove on. And then,
Sadie would say, don't take it off.
and I'm,
Yeah, just keep it there.
I was like, dude, just
Keep it
put
on.
tape on it.
If you don't look at it, it doesn't
Stop
happen.
the bleeding.
While her femur's hanging out.
Yeah, it's fine.
The selfish part of me was like, we got to rope, dude. Like,
we
have to rope right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm not roping, dude. I'm like,
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
A little bit of self-absorbed.
yeah. And then he's like down there, and he's like, oh my god. And I'm just like, oh my god,
Life changing.
you're such a wuss. And I'm just,
Wussy. No.
yeah, I'm just like, you freaking. And then I'm just like, and then he's like, call my wife, and I'm like, I ain't calling your wife.
Call it with your thumb.
I was like, if I call her, I know she's gonna come down here and she's gonna say, you are not.
And we're
roping."
definitely not
And we're
roping
definitely
this
not.
time.
So then I was like, hell no, you call her. And then he calls her and she comes down. She's like, oh my god, how you are not roping. I was like, oh fuck. So then I just was like,
Guess we're not roping.
Yeah. So honestly, like.
So did you guys rope?
No.
You mean you didn't put a little tape on it and let's go?
No. So the selfish part of me was like, oh, you son of a bitch. And then I'm just like, oh, whatever. And then I'm just like literally like depressed, like
Yeah.
sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Because honestly, these pay like life-changing money.
Yeah,
It's
like
not-
silver bullet
Also-
couldn't even wash it
Yeah.
away.
Losing your thumb is life changing also.
I want to hear an update on the loss.
to an extent. But I was like, and then like after the deal, I was sick to my stomach. I was pissed. I was like, I just want to I was in Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to go fucking home. I'm done with this. I'm
Yeah.
sick. I'm
Get me
pissed.
out of the
I had
lights.
already won like pretty good money, but I was still was
Yeah.
like, that would have been like $100,000. Like it was that much. It was so much
How many
money.
bulls I could have bought?
Yeah, I could buy a lot of shit. And then I was like, I'm so sick to my stomach. And then then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm being like an asshole.
He did lose his thumb.
Yeah, and then he sends me a picture of it, and I'm just like, it's like a little.
Was it just the tip?
Yeah, it was just. Honest to God, it was just no bullshit.
It's a paper cut.
Yeah, it was just literally. I was like,
Put a band-aid on
I
it.
was like,
A little bit of
I was
bone
like,
showing.
if it's hanging by a thread, just cut it and just come back.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, dude, if they're gonna save it, and I was like, they're not gonna fucking.
Did you
save it.
find it?
No, it was still in the glove.
Oh, gross.
Like maybe you should have roped fast at the next one, and then he could have gone to the hospital.
And if you had like any of Sadie's style, you just would have taped the base of it
And
and,
that's
you
what
kept
we.
going.
That's what we told him. We're like, hey, dude, like, your adrenaline is going right now. If you're gonna rope, you rope
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Like,
you're gonna be so fast.
and then after that, it was like, oh my god.
Really, you're like that. This could have paid your medical bills if you would have roped
Yeah.
3 times.
But then, yeah, I was so mad. And then after that, like when the roping was over, we seen like the times, like they post the times of how they won it. Whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm just like, we had them by a mile, dude. And then I'm driving home. I'm all pissed off. I got this like one of my little buddies that I started working with.
in a bag.
I got this kid with me, and we're just driving home, and I'm mad. And he's just like, oh, you know what, man, it's all good. And I'm just like,
I like him.
and I'm just like,
He's chill.
yeah, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And then we're driving, and then my truck, and then I'm just hauling ass, pissed off, and my horse is in the back. And then I get like this code on my truck, low tire pressure. Run over a bolt, got a flat tire.
Karma.
I was like, oh my god.
Try being mad again.
I was like,
Be nice.
I was like, fuck this. I was like, to make it worse, my buddy just witched out on me.
Do you want to cut off
Doesn't
the
want to
flat
roll.
tire?
And a flat tire. I was like, no, I'm
Yeah.
done. Yeah, I was so dumb, but yeah. So that's my story.
Priorities.
That's my story of like.
Why is
Yeah.
this a partner event?
Yeah,
No.
it was a partner event. But then I was kind of mad at him for like a couple of hours, and then I was like, not mad at him. I was just
Yeah.
more mad at the situation.
Disappointed you didn't get to do
so
it.
now I
Yeah.
understand why your debut's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, you know
Like-
what? I gotta stick to like
Barrel
My-
racing.
my own events.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I don't know nothing about barrel racing, but
Well, we'll see tomorrow.
maybe you guys know more
Turn
than me.
the
But
can.
like some of those guys that like go to the American, those are
Yeah.
badasses.
They are.
It's just a
I saw the
racehorse.
fastest
It's
one
just a racehorse.
Was a guy that won
Yeah.
recently.
The
Yeah.
record just got beat by some guy in Brazil.
Yeah, a guy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. For the
Killed
record
it.
on a
Standard
standard.
pattern.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where at? Like just
I
anywhere?
think it was in Brazil, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure it was.
It was in
yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah, I just saw that, and he was.
Yeah. But
So
he
happy.
hauled
So
ass
many
and
talented
yeah.
trainers.
It was cool, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What
Yeah.
about the? I don't know. Just because I see like on the Facebook, but
Maybe he's gonna
What
come
about that
tomorrow
young
to Feral
girl?
Production.
What's
Oh, that little Dusky Lynn Hall.
Oh, she's cute.
Yeah, she is. She's so fast.
Yes.
She
I hate her.
rides up.
No.
Yeah, she's a.
You love her.
Yeah, she's a power. I don't know, but I'm like,
Yeah.
holy
Yeah.
moly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
she
telling you,
just-
I ran Chris's rope horse and he powered out of there, and I had to.
She was like the Brazilian rider. Did you see
I
it?
No, I
ran
didn't see it.
one-handed, and because I was like, "What am I doing?" I forgot what I was doing. And then these kids are on these horses that are way more powerful, and they're just little muscles. Like they're so strong
Yeah.
and fearless.
And so
Yeah.
determined.
Yeah.
I'm like deer in the headlights. I'm like, where am I?
We just turned. I
Those
backed out.
kids, though, they have
Yeah,
no
I'm
fear.
gone.
Zero
Yeah.
fear.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It really
Would you
is.
say that barrel racing is like it's so fast that you're like, oh my god, how did I turn that?
The
barrel?
adrenaline
Sometimes.
The
takes
adrenaline
over.
gets you. Like if you do it in practice, it's not as bad, right? But when
You
you
can
do
do
it
it at
like,
home all
But
day.
as soon
Center
as you
stage.
hear your name called,
Yeah.
the adrenaline, it's
and you're like, and I'm out.
what, Sadie?
Yeah.
But like you're talking about, like earlier, like your name on that bull being announced
Yeah.
in this big thing. And last year, our colt that we homegrown, and we've had some bad luck. We'll talk about that later. But it was one that survived and made it to be able to be the featured year, and seeing his name on the screen and them announcing it was out of our stallion, out of our
Yeah.
mare, and owned by us, and it was all on this. I mean, there's
Worth it.
500 barrel racers,
Yeah.
and it's really cool. And then I come out crying like a baby. I mean, we were 8D. We weren't even close.
But you did it.
You
But we
still
like
did it.
and it was our name.
Saw
and
that
by the
name.
End, yeah, and by the end of the year, by the end of the season, we made my big goals that I had set for us, and it was
Yeah.
really cool. But yeah, seeing your name and your stuff,
Yeah.
and oh, you couldn't be more proud. And I was so emotional. And everyone's probably
Look, I might cry right now.
beautiful.
All over again. We get it. We get it, girl.
Yeah,
we were
no.
talking about like there's no better feeling than like we're small potatoes and we're
Yeah.
doing really cool things.
No,
Yeah.
you're only a small potato if you tell yourself that. We're big.
Yeah, no,
We're
that's the
big.
same thing. That's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the same thing. That I say, I was like, if I'm going in like
Yeah.
full force because
Yeah.
I'm like
Here
I'm not
for it.
good. Yeah, like I'll be honest, like after like 1, 2, 3 years
Go
of like my
big
bull
or
riding,
go
I'm
home.
just like, God damn, I gotta put so much time into it. Like I'm at home, I go after work, I'm on the computer, I'm on this, I'm
Yeah.
like, but I'm like, you know what? Like the feeling that I get after, I'm just like, that was so
it.
badass.
Yeah.
And then people will be like,
That's
dude,
so
that was so cool.
Yeah.
And then I get like TikToks made and like I see
Yeah.
like the
Gonna
drone
relive it.
footage and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
You
damn,
got
that
friends
was
like
cool.
this that are
Right?
so
I was like, that was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely understand what
Yeah.
you're saying from, and that's where I'm like, no.
You're doing
If
really
I'm
cool
doing it,
things.
I'm going, and and I'm not like I'm not like the Captain Morgan dude, like the most interesting man in
Yeah.
the world. But
That's Dos Equis.
yeah, or the Dos Equis? Oh yeah, the Dos Equis guy. Yeah, we were at and then this is just like bullshit, but same thing. Like when we were at the finale this year, I was like, dude, we rode really good. Like my goal.
Yeah.
I never thought I was gonna be like I know like some people were like roped their whole life. They're like, oh, the finale, like what? You can enter it, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I was like,
It
but
was-
I was like, but that's a lot of money to enter. I was like, and
Yeah.
if you're not like, if you don't feel confident in yourself,
Yeah.
you're not gonna go pay that money.
No.
So then I was like, I'm ready. Like I'm good. I'm ready. And I went, and I'm like, we won some money. We didn't win some money because my buddy's thumb.
Stupid thumb.
But I'm like, but I'm like. So, but I was like, you know what? Even when we
wouldn't
left
do
there, I was
that.
like the dumbest stuff. I was like, I'm gonna go buy myself like a finale jacket. It's like the best.
Yeah.
I was like, that was the best thing ever. I was like, so cool. I was
Yeah.
like, I wear it so proud. Everybody's
And
like,
your kids are gonna want to wear that someday.
Yeah.
Like,
no, she
Love
wouldn't. Yeah, so like even like when I won the state in bull riding,
Yeah.
I still have that jacket, and I was like, that's my favorite jacket.
Yes.
I was like, that's
You,
from
treasure 'em.
2007. That's
Yeah.
like older than a lot of my nephews, and I was like, that's
Yeah.
my favorite jacket.
Yeah.
So being the stock contractor for some rodeos, do you also have to hire the rodeo clowns and the bullfighters?
So like,
or is
so
that
like,
there?
so like my deal, I hired my guys. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I hired my guys, and then like like this is same thing, kind of like that. So when I first started my bull riding, I looked around and I knew people and I knew kids, and I hired one guy that it's crazy because he still fight bulls, but he fought bulls when I was in high school,
Oh, cool.
and he was like pretty good, and he was like an older dude, whatever you want to call it, but he was like an older dude, and then he
Older than you.
yeah, he was like a dude, like he was like a guy, you know, and I was just like a kid.
Yeah.
And he fought bulls at the high school rodeos. And then after that, like I got out of high school, I went to college, I went to pro rodeo, and then I started doing my own thing. And he still fights bulls.
Yeah.
So I brought him. I'm like, yeah. Some people were like, oh, he's old, and I was like, I don't know, he's still pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So I brought him, and he's still fighting bulls. And then I got like a couple other kids. And then one of the kids that came to my bull riding as a bullfighter, he went on and then like he picked up a bunch of sponsors like Swick Drilling.
Yeah.
Picked him up like as a full-time sponsor.
Yeah.
Because he was that good.
That's
and like
so
it's kind of where like he debuted. I'm not like trying to like
No,
whatever.
that's yeah.
But he like debuted
giving
here,
back to your
and then
community.
they picked him up. They like get him all these sponsor hookups, and then he went and won like the world champion, like the freestyle bullfighting,
Oh,
which
okay.
is a big thing. Same like
Yeah,
barrel racing.
yeah.
Probably little. I don't know too much about it. I'm
Giant
sure you-
accomplishment.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
so
like a
cool.
legit thing. They have
Yeah.
like freestyle bullfights, and he went and like he's a 2-time world champ, and he started like kind of here, like where he debuted, and I'm just like,
Love it.
And where else would he have?
Yeah.
He
Small
wouldn't have done
potatoes.
something like
Yeah.
and I'm just like, and then like, just little things like the other day, there's this Hall of Fame bullfighter, the guy that runs the South Point. He's my buddy, and then he called me and he says, "Hey, what do you know about this kid?" And he tells me the kid's name, and I'm like, "He's fought at my bull rider every year."
Yeah.
And I said, because he has to sign off on his pro card for him to go pro rodeo, and he said, "I've seen that he's been fighting your deal for the last 4 years, 5 years, whatever." He's like, "Would you feel comfortable signing off on him if he were me?"
How exciting!
And I was like, fuck yeah, that kid's a badass.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
I was like, hell yeah, dude. And I just kind of was like, yeah, I'm not a bullfighter, but I know bull riding. I said, he's good. And he's like, are you sure? And I said, and this guy is like a Hall of Fame pro rodeo, been in the NFR, been in the PBR finals. Like he is the bullfighter to bullfighters. And he's asking me,
Yeah.
like, what do you think about this kid? And I'm just like, yeah, like
Yeah.
100%. And then I, the other side of me, I'm like, call the kid. I'm like, hey, don't let me down.
Don't you
fucker.
screw this
Do
up.
not let me down.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, but I,
tie your shoelaces.
yeah, but I know him, and I know he's gonna be good, and he's just like, oh no, I won't. But like that's the way it works now. Is like somebody has to sign off on you,
Yeah. Cool.
and I just was like, yeah, dude, like sign off on him, he's good.
Huh.
And then some other guy called me, same kid. He's like, hey, what do you think? And I said, no, sign off on him, he's good.
Huh.
So
Love that for
yeah,
us.
it's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I don't know. I just try to help wherever or do whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I told Sadie too. I said, fuck, let's do like a barrel race. I said, barrel racing bulls. That's
Dang it.
pretty
I'm
cool.
in.
It's fun.
I don't
Yes.
know.
Oh darn it!
Yes. Darn. I guess we'll have to do it.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Everyone's
Yeah.
gonna enter though.
Yeah, oh,
You're
and do
in.
like
Yeah.
do like
I'll run a
a-
calf.
You can announce
We're
that
not
she
riding
runs.
bulls, but
No, well,
we will.
no.
Yeah,
I'll get
We'll
on the
be
sheep,
in our
maybe.
barrels.
Maybe mutton bust.
Is
I
it
might do that.
like a pro-am? What's pro-am? Like a, or is it like a lower division?
So we do like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 division, and it just splits by
Oh, the
times
D-
a little
oh,
bit.
okay.
So you could do like
Oh,
the
that's fine.
D's.
As long as I can
Yeah.
win the D, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I don't care what D I win.
My motto.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I'm in it to win it.
I'm in it to get time. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
As long as I don't break the pattern.
No.
I'm in.
Yeah. You make 3 turns. Okay.
Easier
If
said
you
than
break the
done.
pattern
Yes.
tomorrow.
No, I can't break no pattern. I know the pattern.
He knows the pattern.
He knows it.
Two
He's
left and a
got
right.
it.
Two left
Yeah,
and a
it's
left.
the only event he's missing out on.
yeah.
He studied.
So
I
if
can run some barrels.
we're ready tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you could leave Elko County with your best story
My best
since
story.
you have been producing, what would it be?
It's just like a bull riding. We went to a bull riding event, and God, we just went, and then like this town is like a college town, and it's just like party. Like we were there, and it was like we were young. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go. This is like This is like I don't even know how many years ago this was. This is like 10,
Almost
15.
20.
Yeah, it was like 30 years ago.
Easy.
So we went to this, and it was Memorial Day weekend, and it's a lake town, so it's like colleges come, and it's just like party fucking central. And we're like staying in and it's a really cool town. Chelan, it's so cool. It's like the main town, and it's got like a long strip, and it's just like downtown. It's so cool. But anyways, we're just having fun, whatever, and then I just get so drunk. And this, whatever. So I got like, I'm like really bad. I can never find boots that fit me.
Oh.
Like,
How
like,
come?
My feet are like wide.
Oh yeah.
Like really wide. So
You have
I
a
got,
weird toe?
Yeah. I got like 4 toes. No, so anyways, we're driving, we're slaughtered. And then somehow, some way, I don't know what the hell happened. I was so drunk. And I was young. I'm a father.
You lost your boots.
Yeah. I lost my fucking boots. I got back to the hotel.
Did
and
anyone give you flip flops at least to wear?
No.
Are you kidding me?
I went straight socks all the way back. I get back to the hotel, and my nephew says, "What the hell are you doing?" Somebody gave me a ride. Some guy's like, "Hey, dude, he says he's staying here."
Yeah. He ain't got shoes.
Yeah, he dropped me. I was like, and then my nephew. No, I had socks. And then
Were
he's
they like the best alligator boots you owned?
No,
or
they were.
anything?
I think I was just so drunk and just like so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That I was like,
Screw the
"Fuck these
boots."
things." And then I'm just like walking down the street and the guy's like, "Do you need a ride?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So I got a ride, and then I get out of the hotel. My nephew's like, "Where the fuck are your boots?" And I was like,
boots?
I have no idea.
So did you ever find him?
Never found them. To this day.
Dang.
Somewhere in
To
Washington.
this day, I've done a lot of dumb stuff that I
I've waited for them.
They're in the lost and found somewhere. It's
I
fine.
fell asleep with my boots on. I can honestly never say I've lost them. So needless to say, the next day at the bull ride, and
Have you
everybody's,
lost your boots?
everybody's like, "Why are you wearing tennis shoes?" I was like,
It's a new style. Okay.
"Yeah, I got no boots. Don't worry. Worry about
The
yourself."
story
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
need to be told.
Yeah.
Need
I
these
was like-
ankles anyway.
Yeah, it's better for
Yeah,
bull
so
riding.
it was crazy. I mean, that was like a crazy drunk story, but yeah, it was.
So
crazy.
you rode that bull though in tennis shoes?
No, I wasn't even. No, we weren't.
Okay,
even,
okay, you were just there.
No, we were hauling bulls. We took
Oh,
bulls.
Holland.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
so
oh,
I-
did you get on?
Yeah.
And everything? Yeah. So you're just
Yeah.
the
So it
dad
was okay.
shoe.
Yeah, I was like,
And a dad shoe.
yeah, I was like,
I
Nike
got
shoes
the
or
bulls
something.
back here.
Not a dad yet, but they got the dad shoes on.
Yeah, I was like,
Anybody got a grill?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And then for the longest time, those guys at the association were just like, "What happened to your boots?" And I was like,
Never mind.
"Couldn't tell you."
He's probably run faster.
Couldn't tell you.
It doesn't matter. You don't need to know the story
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot. There's so many crazy stories. I can tell you lots of crazy stories, but yeah, that was probably one of my crazier stories.
Oh my gosh.
Aw.
We'll have to have you back on after
I know.
your,
We'll have to have you
after
back
your bull
on.
riding.
Yeah.
Thank
One
you
of-
so much for coming on.
Yeah, one of my things is just like, don't quit and just
Keep going.
yeah. keep
I think
going.
so.
I
And
don't
even if you
care.
know nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Your perseverance
That's
it.
speaks volumes.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
it. And I'll be honest, there's so many places and times and when I've gone to like simple things like the Horse Palace or like places where you like seem out of place and just people are like, and maybe it's not like people looking like down on you or looking at you different. Maybe it's just more of like myself
like the
feeling like I don't
insecurity,
yeah.
maybe.
Dig
Yeah.
until you get there.
Like I'm just like, oh, whatever, but I'm just like, I don't give a shit.
I own
Like,
this.
I don't care. Yeah. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, well, when I go beat you on my Ranchi mare, then we'll talk. Or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, other than that, yeah, I don't know. But if anybody needs any helps with riding bulls or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't like know everything, but
Yeah.
we got some bulls.
Can give
we
you a
got
start,
arena.
right?
Yeah, we got a little arena at my dad's house. We can buck some bulls.
That'd be so
and-
cool.
and-
Yeah.
We should come watch sometime.
I was just
And
going
if-
to say we
Yeah,
should
so
do
cool.
a
And
little
if anybody
episode
wants
on
to
that.
invite
Yes,
me
absolutely.
to go practice team roping,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
more
don't want to
than-
be your partner
I'm
anymore.
more than willing to do yeah.
And after tomorrow, yeah, you don't want to
tomorrow-
lose a thumb.
yeah.
But after tomorrow, they might hit you up for barrel lessons.
Yeah.
Barrel lessons.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
guys-
Yeah.
I know some people.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I got nice barrel horses.
Yes,
Yeah.
you've got,
I'm just
yeah, got a nice prospect
No,
back there.
Thank you guys. Honestly, thank you guys for inviting me. I
No,
know it
thank
was
you
just
so
like-
much.
I don't know
I'm
what
so
to
glad you
expect.
And introduce yourself
Yeah.
one last time so we
My
get you
name
out
is
there. And,
Efren Benavides,
yep.
team roper, barrel
Team
racer.
roper, barrel racer.
No, I'm just kidding.
As of tomorrow.
Steer dogger.
I don't know everything.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
Fun
Mr.
time.
Rodeo.
Yeah. And
Do you
then
have social media for your...
Yeah, you can like my Facebook page, Efren Benavides, Instagram, and then my bull riding page is Gold Rush Challenge, Oakland, Nevada.
Awesome.
And then obviously the podcast.
Follow.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
follow, like, and
Yes,
share.
absolutely.
And if you're
Yeah.
not a podcaster, podcast is pretty cool.
Yeah,
We're
it's a little
podcasters
fun,
now.
right?
I do a lot of traveling and I listen to a lot of podcasts. So
Yes.
I don't really like to hear myself talk, but
You will.
You
I'll be
have
listening
today.
to
You
this. I'll be
will.
listening to this one.
Yep. Yep.
So-
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for coming.
thank you guys.
Thank you to your family.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.